Hello, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so this is your very first video for semester 1, MCR 3U1 with Mr. White. So, I'm hoping that you've worked on page 6 of your handout already, and I told you that we would do this just sort of as a way of you checking your answers and giving you a chance to practice using the LMS. So, welcome, and here we go. Remember, you don't have to listen to everything and sit there. You can fast forward, you can rewind, you can pause it, you can do whatever you want. However, the important thing is to make sure that you are actively viewing. You might want to take notes while you're doing it, or pause it and then work through a question on your own and then come back to it. But just watching and listening to me, you're going to learn absolutely nothing. So you figure out the best way to use this, and off we go. So let's see what we got here. It says simplify expressions. So these are expressions. They're not equal signs. They're not equations. Even though I'm going to put an equal sign here, there still isn't a left-hand side and a right-hand side, so I can't be clearing the fractions or anything like that. What I do is I read it. It's 5 times a binomial, -2 times a binomial, -1 times a binomial. So it's going to be 15y, -20, -2y, -14, -3y, plus 8. Another equal sign, and yes, these are required. Those of you that don't put them down, you will lose a form mark, a communication mark from me. So I've got 5y, take away 3y is 12y, take away 2y is 10y. I've got -20 and -14 is -34 plus 8. That's kind of ugly. I'm going to change up my strategy a little bit. This is -20, this is +8. That'll be -12. So then -12 and -14 will be -26. And I'm hoping that's right. I'm actually going to now pull out a calculator because I'd hate to be wrong. 20 plus 14, yes, I know it's subtract, but if I think about this as 20 plus 14 and that whole thing being negative, I can then take away 8 and I can know that the answer is going to be -26, and that's my final answer. All right, next one. Anyone that puts the 5 and the 3 together is breaking the rule of order of operations. You have to do multiplication first, and there is multiplication before subtraction, so this must go 5 minus 3x minus 6, and then the 5 and the 6 can go together. It's going to give you -3x minus 1, and that's the answer. And again, this is very wrong to do 2x plus 2, and then to do 2x plus 4. Remember, that is very wrong. If you did that, give your head a shake, fix it, and never do it again. All right, down here I got a monomial going into a trinomial. That sounds like fun. Look, wee, wee, wee. 3x squared -6xy plus 6y squared. Wee, wee. -10x squared plus 5xy equals. I want that. So 3x squared -10x squared is -7x squared. Normally we put the xy's next, so it's going to be -xy, and finally we put the y squares next. Why do we do it in that order? I'm not sure, but it's a little bit alphabetical. So x squareds go to x to the 1, then y to the 1, go up to y squared. Just deal with it. For some reason, it looks better than this to us. Okay, and it should look better. Ultimately, there's no difference. I'll give you full marks for both of them, but this is really best form. All right, so now I've got a whole term here. So looking at this, I've got this whole thing is being multiplied into each and everything in here. So it's going to be 2, that's a to the 1, a to the 3, so a to the 4, b squared. And then it's going to be -4a b squared times b is b cubed. And finally, it's going to be plus 6. A times a is a squared, b cubed. Okay? Now, collecting like terms, are there any a to the 4 b squareds? No. Are there any other a b cubes? No. Are there any other a squareds b cubes? No. That's as far as we can go. There is no like terms. To be like terms, the variables have to be the same, and the degree of the variable, the exponent above them, has to be the same. X squared a squared b, b squared, and even a squared b squared, none of those are like terms. Flipping over, let's see what I have here. Okay, so I've got BEDMAS working here. So BEDMAS says brackets, exponents, multiplication and division in the order that they occur from left to right, addition and subtraction in the order that they occur left to right. So I see some brackets here, so I go inside the brackets, and then I use BEDMAS again. So I look for more brackets, and I've got more brackets, so I go inside those brackets. X minus 1, can't do anything there. 2x plus 3, can't do anything there. So I come out of the brackets, and I look at what's inside the square brackets, and I say, okay, there's nothing to do inside the brackets. Are there any exponents? No. Multiplication? So I'm going to do the multiplications that we see here, remembering that 2 on the outside. So that's going to become 6x plus 6, and this is negative 2x plus 2. Then finally, you have two choices here. You can clean this up first, then take the 2 in, or which would look like this, 4x plus 8, and then take the 2 in, and you get 8x plus 16. Contrary to that, or not contrary, but what you could have done also is take the 2 into this one, 2 into this one, 2 into this one, 2 into this one. That would have given you 12x minus 4x, which would have been 8x, and it would have given you 12 minus 4. Is that right? No, it would have given you 12 plus 4, which should be 16. So you skip that step. But, you know, it's up to you. There's a third way to do it for some of you that are thinking. It sort of bends BEDMAS a little bit, but what you're doing is you take the 2 in first, and you make this 6, and you take the 2 in here and make that 4. But let's not do that until grade 12, and so we'll do it this way. Ha 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 ha! Look, I've got a perfect square binomial here. So it's the first term squared, so it's going to be 4x squared. This term times this term is 10xy times 2 is 20xy. And it's the last term squared, 25y squared. Now I take the 3 in, 12x squared plus 60xy plus 75y squared. That's cool. That's fast. Over here, I get a binomial going into a trinomial. Well, there's no shortcuts, kids. So it's going to be 10x to the 5, x to the 3 times x to the 2. So what that looks like is x to the 3 times x to the 2, which means you've got 3 x's here, and you're multiplying by 2 more x's. So if you think about that, that's actually 5 x's being multiplied together. They taught you just to add the exponents, but that's what's really happening. 2 times 3 is 6, x to the 4, and then 2, negative 4x cubed, and then 5x cubed, and then plus 3x squared, negative 2x. I need to put a bubble around this, otherwise it's going to get confused with what's happening here. All right, there's no other x to the 5, so they stay alone. There's no other x to the 4s, so they stay alone. However, I've got negative 4x3s and 5x3s, so I guess that's just going to be 1x3. And I've got 3x squareds, and I got 2x, and we're done. Yeah. All right. Can't see this really well, but there's a little exponent there. Someone yelled at me during class, is there a shortcut for perfect trinomials? I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. So unfortunately, you are stuck. You're going to do this one. Now, I put a challenge out there. If there is a shortcut for it and someone wants to find it and explain it to me, that'd be great, but I can't think of one offhand. So 2x cubed are going to be 4x to the 6, and then it's going to be 6x to the 4. Please make sure that's not x to the 9. That would be wrong. And then it's going to be negative 2x cubed. Now I'll take the 3 over. Just be systematic about how you're doing it. Plus 6x to the 4 plus 9x squared minus 3x. And now the negative 1. So it's going to be negative 2x cubed, negative 3x plus 1. Negative times negative is plus. That's where you'll make a mistake. Okay, so let's put these things together. 4x cubed plus 6x to the 4, 6x to the 4, so I'm thinking it's 12x to the 4. Negative 2x3, negative 2x3 is negative 4x3's. 9x squared seems to be the only one. Negative 3x, negative 6x, and finally plus 1. Woohoo! Okay, moving on, almost done. Oh my goodness, you haven't seen this yet, but you should be able to handle it. I've got 3 things being multiplied together. It's the same as having 2 times 3 times 4. And what you do is you either do 2 times 3 to get 6, times 4 to get 24. You do 3 times 4 to get 12, times 2 to get 24. Or you can do 2 times 4 to get 8, 8 times 3 to get 24. What you don't do is 2 times 2 to get 6, 2 times 4 to get 8, 6 times 8 is 48. It's one too many 2's. You took the 2 in there and in there. So keep that in mind down here when we do it. So you get to pick any 2 to put together. Why not take the first 2? 3a squared plus 6a minus 2, 5a plus 4. I'm going to simplify this. 3a squared plus 5a minus 2, 5a plus 4. Now I'm going to take the binomial into the trinomial. So instead of just going this way, I'm going to go this way now. So it's going to be 15a cubed plus 25a squared minus 10a plus 12a squared plus 20a minus 8. So I then took the 4 in. I got all this. Collecting like terms. 37. Negative, positive. Yay. And last but not least, okay, this is a perfect square trinomial, so I'm going to use the pattern. It's the first term squared. So it's 4x squared. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 9. Subtract. Now, I'm going to leave the subtraction there, okay? And I'm going to do this expansion with a bracket around it because it's subtract this whole product. So it's going to be 6x squared plus 15x minus 2x minus 5. So that negative, this whole product has to be subtracted from this. So again, I think I'm going to clean this up first. Put my equal sign. Oops, I forgot some equal signs. Go back and put them in. It's going to be 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Subtract. I guess that's 6x squared plus 13x minus 5. Now I'm going to take the negative in. So it's going to be 4x squared plus 12x plus 9 minus 6x squared minus 13x plus 5. So now it's going to be negative 2x squared minus x plus 14. Now I'm done, and I'm hoping I didn't make a mistake on anything. And if I did, clarify it, make sure that you're right, and let me know. And we'll go from there. Okay, kids, that's it for now. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.